Mike Murphy is up next. Where's Mike? Why don't you come on up as I give a couple more facts about human trafficking. At any one time in San Diego County, we estimate there are about 8,000 girls and young women involved in forced as sex slaves. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. Each of those young ladies, and I guess some young men too, there are clients that support this criminal industry of human trafficking. What can we do? Well, we can help work on reducing the client end by bringing this whole thing out into the light. We can also help the county in their efforts on human trafficking, and Children of the Immaculate Heart, childrenoftheimmaculatehheart.org is another way that we can help. Okay, I've got that off my chest. Mike Murphy is here from Alternatives to Violence. AVP has been working in state prisons for a long, long time, and Mike is going to tell you a bit about it. Do you want me to... Good, Mike, good. I'm glad you handed me this because I lost my notes. Mike is a global peace ambassador and a circle keeper with Restorative Practices. His passion is to build beloved community. That's what they call themselves, and I love that term, beloved as well as community, in the belly of the beast, which is in the state prisons. He's served as Alternatives to Violence facilitator for 15 years in prisons and communities, schools, and agencies. He now volunteers at Calipatria State Prison, one of the places near and dear to my heart out in Imperial County, and through Catholic Charities Restorative Justice at Las Colinas. Mike Murphy.
Thanks so much. I've got two of my co-conspirators in building Beloved Community. My wife, Amy Chunhong Hu. She's true to her name. Her name in Chinese means forever spring, everlasting butterfly. So I'm telling you, in fact, I'm kind of getting some chills with this, because when I tell the men and the women inside, I don't have to tell them. They just say, yeah, we get it. And so going in as a couple is very powerful, because so many of the people inside never really had a loving, respectful couple in their lives. When we talk about crime, it came to me, it's so much of the way that people are brought up, and so much of the cross-generational. Our crimes, before there's any law that's been broken, it's just how people are oftentimes not knowing how to build beloved community, if you will, or how to be creating homes that are safe places for children to be loved and nourished and cared for. So here's Amy. Come on up here. And my other buddy here, known as now Noel. In AVP, we come up here with, you can grab your ball too. Okay. She's here from New York, and she's been doing this work for over 20 years, and I'm going to invite her to share some of her own story of transforming power, as we call it in AVP. So what is AVP represents the Alternatives to Violence Project, and it was started in 1975 by some of the very people who were part of the uprising at Attica State Prison in New York. And they shipped them to a maximum security prison called Greenhaven. When they were there, they found that what we really have is a passion for having more peace in the yard. People are dying here just about every day. And what we want to do is we want to do what we can so our children and other children don't end up doing what we're doing now, time in prison. So they got the help from some Quakers, who are people that also, besides Catholics and other Christians, Quakers visit prisons. And they're very, if you know them, they're very determined, dedicated folks. And I see a few heads going up and down, you know. And one of the Quakers happened to be Bernard Lafayette, who was the right-hand man of Dr. Martin Luther King. And Bernard was in charge of nonviolent training. And some of the people he trained were those known as the freedom fighters, the freedom riders, those that rode on buses and desegregated places, and people of such, great courage. So Bernard, the day before Dr. King was assassinated, Dr. King said, "Bernard, what I want you to do is to institutionalize and internationalize nonviolent training. That is, building beloved community. So this is our purpose. This is our passion." And Bernard was part of the very first workshops in AVP in 1975. And so we continue this work. And the work is nothing short of miraculous and transformational. And it's a circle process, like folks have been sharing earlier. When we're in that circle, which is indigenous, connected to the very roots of who we are, we begin to just invite each other to be fully human. One of the places I had the privilege to go and not just visit, but to do workshops was Kenya and also Nepal. And in Kenya, I heard the meaning of the word Ubuntu. You may have heard it from Nelson Mandela. You may have heard it from Desmond Tutu. Ubuntu is a Zulu word that literally means human being, our essential self, who we truly are. When we're in that circle, it is all power with, not power over. It's discovering the common unity and community. So there's an African proverb that goes with Ubuntu. I am because we are, and we are because I am. Pretty powerful. And the other time that I heard the significance was I am, when there was Moses with the burning bush, right? And she's been given a job, okay? Tell me when there's 1 minute left. I can count on her. She's always got my back, as we say inside. Anyway, at the burning bush, I am that I am. So that's the ultimate. So getting in touch with our humanity, for me, is the ultimate. And what happens there is beyond anything that we as individuals could possibly imagine doing in those circles and in the belly of the beast. And in Calipatria State Prison, I'm telling you, it's fast becoming the Calipatria Peace Academy. Fast becoming that. I want to say something. Amy's going to say something about what Amy and I also do in the community here is around building beloved community. We formed the Beloved Community Garden, which is something where we offer the types of work that we do in the prisons and in communities and throughout the world, where we offer that in the community for folks to learn compassionate communication, way of communicating in their families and with their friends and at work. So, Amy, do you want to say a word, and then we're going to turn it over to our buddy now, Noel.
I will appreciate today. I'm excited to come here. I will enjoy meeting everybody. My name is Chen Honghu. I'm from China. In China, I learned psychology counseling 10 years ago. In China, I do workshop in jail and school and the community. I come in here mainly my husband. I every month come in 2 times 6 days. Go to the jail. What
Go
is
to the prison.
person? Yeah, person do volunteer workshop. I will enjoy the workshop. I will appreciate the workshop how inside and the family and the friends. I think it's powerful, transparent, powerful. I will happy, fortunate. Thank you so much. I will excited. I don't know, say a lot the English words. I will appreciate. Okay. Thank you.
I just have to add this very little quick story of this one. Second day, literally, that she went to Calipatria State Prison. Guess who's the first one literally hitting the gate? Once we got past security, the gate, this one, way ahead of the rest of the facilitators, guard in the tower, hey, hold your horses, I'm getting it, okay? So that's her, you know, and she's very loved inside.
Thank you.
Hi there. Just, my name is Noelle Pole, and I am a compatriot, whatever, his friend, and co-facilitator. And I have been doing this process for 24 years. And when I started doing the process, I had been given a diagnosis of schizophrenia. I'd also been given a diagnosis of chronic depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and 5 other big-ticket diagnoses. And within the first 3-day workshop, they run as 3-day workshops in the prison, and then an advanced, and then you get trained. After my first diagnosis, I was 6 years old, and this was the transformative thing that just changed everything for me. And I knew right away, this is going to be what I do for the rest of my life in one form or another. And I think it is absolutely perfectly suited to be added into the mix of restorative justice circles because it brings a playful element. What we do is we have a series of exercises that are put together with a certain consciousness that we start with affirmation, then we do some communication exercises, and then we do some cooperation exercises. We learn conflict resolution skills. It's extremely playful. It's been done, the Quakers are doing it as AVP. It's been spread to 65 countries. Right now it's operating in 52. It's in prisons all over this country. And my mission has been to get it into the mental health system, which has been working. Well, it's starting to get a little bit of a notice there because it's so powerful. And we just wanted to do, we only have a little, few minutes. I want to tell you, I've got this little piecework I call AVP. Now they are embracing spin-offs, and I have a spin-off called Piecework that is based on AVP, and it's in the mental health system. And this toolkit is free to download from my website, so if you're interested, find me at lunch. And you can, this little exercise and a whole bunch of other ones are in this with some inspiring handouts for your circles, because probably a lot of people in your circles either have diagnosis or have family members that are struggling in that way, so might be useful. So, okay. You could start this in one moment. We always start our circle process with a gathering question, and this is just a playful way of doing this. If you could make sure your beverages are not like in a vulnerable, hold on to them, because when you get the ball, if you would be so kind as to wherever your nose is like, boop. I got topic ball, that's not a good one. So here it is. It says, I am passionate about restorative justice or restorative practices because, and I will answer the question, because I know that within every one of us is that essential wholeness and wellness, and that is a process that brings it to light. You can't do that because we won't have time. But you could do one word that says the answer to whatever topic. So just toss it out there, Amy. Chun Hong. Somebody's got to grab it and give us one word.
I think this takes the place of the quiz.
Okay, there you are. You did it. No. You got to answer pick one right there. Okay.
So I am passionate about RGRP because we're all in this together.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. A word that describes how I feel right now is called.
Called, I like it, I like it, I like it.
Was that called, as in I feel called? Don't be afraid. Good.
Called.
All right, I'll pick another one. To me, the most important aspect of restorative practices is that everybody has a voice.
Okay, we do need to cut. I just want to say, Noelle is one person who I said to her, Noelle, we're going to have 125 people in this room, not sitting in one circle. How do we make this experiential? She says, have a ball. Okay.
He made that up, but I did mention the ball. I did.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, you're going to like this.
no, it's fine. In order to reach you guys at
7
AVP,
seconds.
where are your materials?
We have materials on the back table, and Noelle also put down some AVP T-shirts and some sweaters or sweatshirts, and anyone that wants to contribute something and take one, please do. And the money is going toward AVP in our prison service, our international service, our national service.
This one is to get manuals to people in other countries that can't afford them.
We also there's a sheet you're passing out with
Right.
information on it.
There's a handout on the table about AVP.
Yes, and you also give out information sheets with the conference, don't you?
Yes, on the back of the agenda, there's contact information for everybody who has spoken here today. Now, here's the catch. If you, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, there's a level 1 training coming up November the 8th.
Is that on the handout?
That's on the sheet that you're giving as an information sheet.
Yeah, there's a
Okay, so
training
it's,
coming
that's
up.
already been
Yes,
distributed.
okay.
Okay, so here's the catch. If you have pants that look like Mike's or a shirt that looks like mine, you can volunteer to be an AVP volunteer, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you. It's true. Thank you very much, Mike. It's really nice to see you up here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.